Well, good evening to all you wisdom walkers out there. This is Jojopah Maria and Saroma coming with another edition of Wisdom Walk Talk. And I am live streaming for the third time this month. And this will be the conclusion of my live streams. See, I'm trying to get my shirt right. Um, so I'm excited about it. It's been an interesting journey, and I've learned some new tricks. So tonight I'm going to be sharing more pictures as I'm talking, and yeah, we'll see how that goes. Um, I also found out that I could connect my microphone so that it'll be a better quality on the recording for you. When you look at it later, when I look at it later, see how it goes. Right now, this is kind of like my pre-show because my podcast on Black Hole Radio is doing my intro music. It's a beautiful song by Stevie Wonder called Nicolela. And I always promise myself if I could ever have a theme song, that would be it. And so it's a beautiful, beautiful song. So while that's playing, I'm just going to be chatting with you and also setting up to make sure that I know how I can share my screen. So let's make sure I got everything in order here. And let's see, it says like this and like this and like this. And I think I can do it. So let me see if I say share. Ah, there we go. There we go. So thank you for being with me while I'm doing my testing out of sharing my screen. Very, very cool. Very cool. Okay, so now I know I can share it. So that's wonderful. So here in the Northern Hemisphere, we have moved um, into the summertime. Hey, Michael, happy Sunday to you as well. And we've moved into, kind of our midpoint with our summer season. And so I got to the beach, and that was really cool. And want to do that as much as I can before the seasons change. And I'm also going to be doing some traveling this weekend coming up, next weekend, and I'm really excited for that too. Driving up the coast of California to Carmel, which is really cool. So, and I'll do it safely, using my common sense, not going to be taking any chances. And yeah, it should be good. So I wish all of you that you're able to, take some downtime, enjoy yourself, do things that are happy for you, feeling good for you. Just remembered I needed my cheat sheet in front of me. And yeah, just really let yourself have as much good time as you can and safely. That is the really big issue, right? That we just need to remember to stay safe. So my theme music has ended, so I'm going to formally start this show. Good evening and welcome to Wisdom Walk Talk here on Black Hole Radio and my YouTube channel, Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery. I am Jojopah Maria and Saroma, and July, being this second of 3 fire months in the water year, has opened up a new age for the evolution of humanity with mind-blowing breakthroughs. And so I have been this month guiding listeners and viewers through recaps of the last 6 months of spiritual spills that I did to support the setting of clear and aligned personal goals for the remainder of this year. And tonight I conclude that journey with highlights from my themes in May and June, which were coming home to you and bursting open. But just a reminder, if you are listening in to the podcast on Black Hole Radio, online through Blog Talk, know that if you have a problem with your internet connection, you can listen over the phone at this number, which is 563-999-3089. I am live streaming, so the video that I'm live streaming to will be available on my YouTube channel, also on my Facebook Wisdom Walk community page, um, as well as my Wisdom Walk radio page. You can also access it through my website, which is www.wisdomwalk2selfmastery.com. And any comments that you have, any suggestions, any questions, you can leave them through at Facebook, those Facebook pages. Again, Wisdom Walk Community, Wisdom Walk Radio, or to my website, which I'm just typing out. And I'll just flash it on the screen for you in a second. I don't think I have a dash in that. Let me stop doing it the way it should be. To self mastery. There we go. .com. Yeah. So flash that for you. And that's my website. So before I do anything more, I want to invite you to sit, lay back, relax, and join me on this recap inner landscape to really discover the true treasure of being human. And as always, I'm going to open up my show by honoring the ancestors. Yes, yes, these are the persons whose shoulders we're standing upon. These are the persons for whom we wouldn't be here if it weren't for them. And whether they were good, bad, or ugly, we want to honor their existence because they have contributed to make us be able to be here on purpose and do the things that it is that we're supposed to be doing. So join me now as I invoke the ancestors. Think of those, again, blood related or not, people who had impact on your life, people who you admire, or people whom even you knew, were not the best persons for you, but you learned from their mistakes, you learned from their bad behavior. Again, we want to honor all of them. So I'm going to share my screen with you, and we are going to do some ancestor honoring right now. Okay. Creator, Mother, Father, God, Source, all the one, all that is, we thank you. We thank you. We thank you for your blessing and mercy in our lives and for yet another opportunity to call on those great emissaries of yours, the ancestors. Ancestors, 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 we're calling out to you, for we're in a time of great, great shifting and changing. There are ways of being, ways of believing, ways of doing that are coming to an end that can no longer be supported to us in this new age that we have stepped into. And so we're going through a very challenging time of having to let go of things that we'd gotten used to, letting go of conditioning that we thought was going to save our lives. And so we find ourselves in a void space. We find ourselves in a not knowing that feels uncomfortable. And so we're calling out to you because we need help to accept this great shift, to accept not knowing, and to open up to learning. So we ask for you to come and guide us into our courage, into our wisdom. Share with us your courage and wisdom. Open our hearts. Be in front of us, be behind us, be above us, be below us, be within us as we forge ahead from now until the end of this year, learning what we need to learn, growing in the way we need to grow, and remembering always that we have the ability to choose love over fear. And so, ancestors, I ask and thank you for all of this, as I also ask and thank Creator for you and for your blessing in the name of all that is holy. And I say, Amen, Ashe, Aho, Asa, Ashinga, Bismillah. And so it is. So here we go. And I am because I had mentioned in my pre-show I'm going to be doing some traveling, and I didn't want you to miss this astrology, so I'm going to talk it today and the elemental wisdom. I may throw it into a separate video with some more stuff because there's a couple of more things that are going on, but I'm going to give you at least three major aspects that I think are important and the elemental wisdom for this week, which is all about water, because on Friday, July 6th, we rapidly flowed into a water week in this fire month. And this is all about becoming peaceful, getting still, meditating, and contemplating so that you can reconcile any negative feelings by acknowledging them, feeling the pain, and cleansing it out by focusing on what is positive in your life right now. Like right now. And that's so important for us to be able to do. Um, it's just so important for us to be able to get to where it is we really need to be, and to let go again of, being in the past, staying in the past in the ways that we have previously. So think about how it is that you may have been staying stuck in some judgment and some, some negativity, just some real negativity that is just not really working for you. And a lot of times we kind of feel like maybe we're supposed to be in that, but you're not. Any any situation, any feeling that doesn't feel good, that cuts off your flow, you really want to move beyond it. And so this week, we get some help with this beautiful energy of water to get free from feelings of anger, resentment, judgment, fear, and anything else that is disruptive or distracting to us being in the flow. I want to remind you that God is breathing you, and you can call upon your divine love to free your mind. So avoid things like sedating your pain. You want to face it, you want to let it go, telling yourself that problems can wait, attempting to change someone or control someone. Leave all of that alone. And again, any blaming of others for how you are choosing to feel about yourself, or using anger, rage, or judgment to protect yourself from other people's pain. No, 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 no. You really want to step out of all of that, and you want to let it go. Let it go, let it flow. Definitely, definitely. So when next Friday rolls around, we will be move this out. We'll be back into a nature week. And it's so cool that nature is following water, because nature, of course, is a time for change and to honor that change, to welcome that change. And so the big message is, starting on Friday the 23rd, to surrender your attachment to your plan. Yeah, definitely let that go. So let me move into the astrology for the week. And again, there are some aspects that I think will be, just good for us to know about, good for us to have in our head. Let me move this on the screen and come back over here, and I'll share it with you. So we get this um, Venus entering Virgo, and that's going to be happening on the 21st. So on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd, we have the three important aspects, I think, for the week. And I'm getting this information from Astro Butterfly. Our website is astrobutterfly.com, and I'll leave it in the description box below this video. And happy Sunday. Another Facebook user saying happy Sunday to me. As it says here, and I'll go bigger for you, that when Venus is entering into this into Virgo, this is a time that will teach us how to be more pragmatic, down to earth with our feelings. And so it's about having, emotional intelligence and really paying attention to your feelings. So if you feel energized, then do some work, do something, move around. If you feel down, write some poetry. Do you feel emotional? Have a chat with your water sign friends. Do you feel angry? Clean the house. Channel your feelings and do something useful. That is the message. And on the 22nd, we then move into the Leo season. So happy birthday to all you Leo folk out there as the sun enters its domicile, its favorite astrological sign. Now, there is certain magic to the Leo season. And no matter what your sun sign is, this is the best time of the year to embody the sun's qualities, which is authenticity, confidence, courage, radiance, warmth, and generosity. Yeah. So again, happy birthday, Leos. And again, for us in the Northern Hemisphere, this is when you really want to get your summertime on. And then last but not least, we're going to have a full moon in Aquarius. Now, it's conjunct Pluto and Saturn. So Astro Butterfly tells us that we're gonna, with this full moon on the 23rd, we're gonna get some revisiting energy from the Saturn Pluto conjunction of January 2020. You know what happened after that, and the Jupiter Saturn conjunction in December of 2020. But although the energy may be a little tight because it's just change energy, the thing you want to really focus on is look how far we've come. Look how far we've come. And I think, this is so in alignment to what I'm doing this month by recapping the last 6 months of the year. This is going back, into 2020 and just saying, let's be conscious and look at where we've come from and look at how far we've come. So we don't have to slide all the way back with the new variant because we've learned some things. We understand some things now. And so we need to put those into practice. We need to maintain them in practice. And again, just realize that we're not who we were in January of 2020 or in December of 2020. And so we can definitely move forward. Um, again, like I said, this energy might be a little tight because Aquarius full moon conjuncting Pluto and Saturn, some hidden truths are going to be revealed. Things that have been kept in the dark will come to surface. And that's an okay thing. We can deal with that. Yeah, we can definitely deal with that. So we want to just really honor, the fact that we are moving forward. That to me is the most important thing to remember. So there's your astrology for this coming week and into next week. And again, just take it easy, take it light. That's the best thing to do with it. Take it easy and take it light. Yeah. So let me move on here, get you to my next slide. I'll move back over here and do it this way. Yeah, here we go. So always I want to remind us about the fact that we are celebrating Earth Day every month. And it's an important thing to do to keep ourselves very mindful of the fact that, we've got to do our part to help make sure that we can be on this planet and that the seventh generations that come after us can be on this planet. And this month, the Earth Day people have been focusing on reducing plastic drastically, like really wanting us to cut down on our use of plastic. So I invite you to go to the website www.earthday.org And you can see a plastic pollution calculator. You'll also see where they're celebrating and trying to get people, more conscious of how we overuse plastic, and to really help you with choosing and learning how to cut down on using so much plastic. So join me and many others in learning how to really manage, how it is that we are, you know, using so much plastic, and really getting us into a posture where we're not doing that in the way that we have been. That'd be really, really, really important to do. Yeah. So now I want to go into what I want to talk with you about tonight to close up this review, the 6-month checkup, if you will. And again, the idea here is to be able, to really let yourselves stay in alignment with what it is that you want to accomplish, what it is that you want to do between now and the end of the year. Or if you had set a clear intention, that you're going to be able to do that more consciously. And so tonight I want to focus on what I talked about in May, give you highlights from coming home to you, and then what I focused on in June, which was about bursting open. And my quote for tonight comes from Rumi, and it is, "There is a morning inside of you waiting to burst open into the light." Isn't that beautiful? Yeah, just like really, really cool. So, coming home, coming home to me. Um, why that's important, like, why should we care about coming home to us? And of course, the real big reason, the very important reason, is because of the times that we are living in. We really, 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 and I can't say this enough, have moved into a new age. We've moved into a new age. And in this new age, this shift is going on. And globally, our consciousness of being victims to life and to the universe is shifting. And it's really, really, really huge. The dominance dynamic, the conqueror archetype, it's being retired around the globe. There's even protests going on in Cuba on using a rap song that is inspiring people. So, all of these things coming out of ancestral wounds, and all of the things around imperialism, colonialism, slavery, and other systems of oppression, people who have been subjected to that are really waking up in huge numbers and taking on their personal healing work. They're taking on their personal healing work. We are really liberating ourselves from the industrialized work model. Zoom showing up, and definitely what's happened since the time of the COVID. We're finding out that, oh, you mean I can work in a different way? I can work very differently. And people are learning how to, get freed up from, office environments that are toxic and not conducive to their health and well-being. The other thing is that the multiverse has arrived. This notion of diversity and equity is really, it's a real, real thing in a way it hasn't been. And, we now have a Black Captain America. And it's not just a fad. It's real. It's happening, and it's symbolic. What Marvel has done. This is symbolic of, okay, it's time to be inclusive. It's time to move forward as human beings in regards to our consciousness, in regards to how it is that we are treating each other and seeing each other and being with each other. It's like, Gotta shift something up. And so because of that, it's really important that we get to really start stepping into living our authentic self and really coming home to who it is that we are. So previously, what I talked about is let me change a picture here for you. I talked about this notion of how your authentic self, this living from your truth, is about existing from your own unique understanding of who you are and why you exist before you were conditioned to believe what others told you about you. I talk about doing things that align, following your heart and progressing toward your castle in the sky, letting go of being a martyr, sacrificing your passions, your dreams, so somebody else will think that you're good, right, or normal, and about having the courage to show up as who you know you are without being attached to what and how others react. And I had mentioned about Sammy Davis Jr. and his song "I Gotta Be Me." I gotta be me. And this inauthentic self that so many of us have fallen into and been involved in our lives, it's got consequences. I call it living the lie. It's got consequences. And so I talked about how you really just can't feel good about yourself if you stay in that. So I got on to talking about the journey to you, the journey home to you, to that authentic self. And I talked about The Wizard of Oz and Inception because I love both of those movies. And I talked about how that journey is a healing journey and there's no roadmap. You got to throw out the clock because it will take time and it'll take all the time it needs. But you look for and connect with those who can support you, and then it becomes a joyride for most of it. There are times when it's challenging, it really is, because you gotta release stuff, right? But when you receive the new, that makes it so worth it, so worth the journey. Um, accepting that the unexpected will occur, but staying focused on your goals so you can return home to your authentic self is very, 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 very important. So, so, so important. And it's what we can do. It's what we can do. That being our authentic self, really, really having that show up for us. So important. I can't say enough about it. So, I gave you some exercises to do, some stuff to think about, and then when I got into this next month of June, we were ready to talk about bursting open. Yeah, the bursting open in our lives and what that means, what that is really about. I just love that phrase of bursting open. It's like so really cool. Like, I'm gonna burst open. And there's the quote that I had shared with you from Rumi. This morning inside of you, waiting to burst open into the light. So I started off talking about the limitlessness of the cosmos, that one light year, or the amount of distance light can travel in one human year, is 6 trillion miles or 9.7 kilometers. Wow. I also talked about Voyager 1 that was launched in 1977, and it is now 22 billion kilometers, or translates into, and I don't even know if I can say this number, 13,670,166,229.221 miles from Earth. And it's out beyond our known solar system and still sending back data until 2025. Wow. So when I think about that, when I think about the science of that, it's like, why are we limiting ourselves? Because clearly, the universe goes beyond our limitations. And so we get limited, of course, by fear. That's the great, thing that limits us. It's about fear. But we can go beyond it. We can go beyond the fear, and it's important that we do that. We need to go beyond the fear. And so I talked about how we also are bursting open to be able to do that by going into living our divinity within, to actually living it, not just trying to figure out, is it real? No, but actually living it. And I gave the example of Chadwick Boseman and talked about how he was really a way shower for us, because when we live that divinity within, first of all, we accept our mortality. We accept that our time here is limited, in these flesh and bones, not our consciousness that goes on. But we don't have to run from this fear, that we can choose love over that fear. So we can embrace the fact that we have a mortality and really focus on, what do I want to do? And so, like he did, he opened up his soul and his heart to a higher purpose, to a service, to a legacy. He didn't say yes to being a victim. He said no to being a victim. And he modeled for us, forgiveness, non-judgment, compassion, accountability, setting boundaries. What he said yes to was being a victor to life, being true to himself, not his circumstance or his health challenge. That's why he didn't share about it. He didn't want people treating him like his cancer. He wanted to be treated like the truth of who he was. And also choosing and practicing faith by letting go of attachment to outcomes to allow for divine order. Very, very, very important. Very important. And so I can't encourage you enough to really, really look at everything I've been talking about over the last 6 months, but especially that piece about bursting open. And I did give you an exercise to go and journal about, have you accepted your mortality? In what ways have you opened up your heart and soul? But also think about, what is it that you're bursting open to right now in your life? Or what would you like to be bursting open to in your life? Again, we're in this time of deep, great change. Staying stuck in what was, limiting yourself, limiting your beliefs, it's not going to be a good day. We need to move forward, and we need to burst open into the new that is waiting for us. Yeah, yeah. So, closing out, as always, I want to thank my wonderful, wonderful engineer, Miss Yvette Parker, and the entire Black Hole Radio Be Well family. Thank you so much for giving me platform, supporting my platform to do this important work. To all my regular listeners and watchers out there, and to all those who have wisdom walk with me before, you know who you are. To my family on both coasts, to my spiritual kin, to my transformational leadership colleagues, and to my medicine brothers and sisters here and all around the world. Thank you, thank you, thank you for doing your good work, and also for your listenership and viewership. I couldn't do this without you. I am opening myself up to having 1,000 subscribers to my YouTube channel by the end of the year. So I ask and thank you for going to Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery and subscribing, hitting the bell for all of what I do. And I am so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. Now, next week, I will be on hiatus. And so I will do a rebroadcast on the Black Hole Radio Blog Talk platform of the probably maybe this broadcast or maybe the first one. And my next live broadcast will be on Sunday, August the 1st. And I'll introduce my theme for August right before then. Yeah. The book. Here it is over here. Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery, Ancient Wisdom for Transforming Pain, available. And you know what? I think I did make up a poster for that. Hold on, let me jump back over here real quick and see what I did. I did. So yeah, there's a book. And there's me. You may not be seeing it because I don't think I shared my screen. Got to share a screen, Jojopah, so people can see. There we go. Okay, so the Wisdom Walk to Self Mastery, and available Amazon, Kindle, and the whole bit. Very, very nice. Oh, love it. And last and definitely not least, I want to thank my God, my ancestors, my spirit guides, loving entities, everything that walks with me, keeps my head to the sky, my feet to the ground, and my heart open to do this important work with and for all of you. Now, please have a very safe, healthy, and happy water week, letting go of your attachments. Again, COVID is tricky, so don't think it's over. We do have to, really stay vigilant, stay in practice with using our mask, and when it's appropriate. Don't take chances. Washing our hands, practicing that social distancing, and also, just really, really praying that we don't get back into a surge, that we do the things we need to do to avoid that. And as always, please remember you are not disposable, but you are divine. Good night now.